everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is my usual introduction, but something different for a change. So guys, with today's review, what are your thoughts on the possibility of UFOs or otherworld beings or other planets that are inhabited? Yeah, there's been lots of talk of it over time, hasn't there? And it's a very cool subject, much talked about, isn't it? It's been like absolutely huge, hasn't it, since the 50s, 60s, and all the way up to now, hasn't it? It was absolutely huge. People have claimed they've seen things. People have claimed things have happened to them, haven't they? People claim they've been abducted. People claim they've been visited by the Greys or the Men in Black, or all these different theories about stuff, you know, the Area 51 stuff, Roswell, all that alien stuff. So what are all your thoughts on that with today's review? I can't believe we're alone in the galaxy. Something this big, we're big, massive, great big expanse of the universe, isn't it? We just can't be alone. I can't see that we can be alone. But, you know, but are we just hyped with great TV series like, you know, the X-Files and UFO and all these different things that are out there, like Space 1999 and Star Trek and stuff like that. Movies like The Thing, Predator, and Day the Earth Stood Still, some of the classics, you know, some of the old classics like Day of the Triffids, and not so much UFO film Day of the Triffids, was it? It was more like UFO kind of spores, wasn't it, from a meteor shower. But movies like that, isn't it? Invasion of the Body Snatchers was another classic, wasn't it? Yeah, Day the Earth Stood Still, wasn't it? Even the remake with Keanu Reeves was quite good, wasn't it? With the big robot Gort, whatever his name was. But yeah, I mean, the X-Files had some fantastic episodes on UFOs, didn't it? And obviously the classic, the original Alien, wasn't it? You know, right up to kiddies movies like E.T. and stuff like that. So we've had so many films over time, haven't we? Flight of the Navigator. So there's all these different theories, beliefs, Star Wars, you know, stuff like that. So the truth is out there, guys, isn't it? We just don't know what it is yet. So welcome to the review. So today we are reviewing The Invaders, a television science fiction series that ran from 1967 to 1968. So some of you definitely will not have seen this. Now guys, it's not going to be of today's standard with the effects, but it was good enough for its day. And I remember seeing this, and this used to be on when I was little. This used to be on a Sunday morning. So bearing in mind I was not born in the 60s, so you know, it was out for a long time before even I saw it when I was young. So yeah, it's a great series. It really is one of the good ones. If you like UFOs, invaders and all that sort of stuff, this was very much like a slow takeover series. So it wasn't all action, even though you did have some action scenes, a lot of fighting, stuff like that, old sort of punch-ups you used to have, you know, not mega violent, but just mega cool. Some good weaponry for its, because the aliens had these laser cannons that disintegrated people. They were really cool. The effects for those, I don't know how they did it in that time, but yeah, very good. So yeah, so this is my Believers box set, and it's mainly about this guy on the front cover, and this is a character called David Vincent. So this is all about the Invaders. So this is the Believers box set. So here we go, I'll read you a bit off the back. How does a nightmare begin? For architect David Vincent, it begins when alone at night on a country road, he witnesses the landing of a UFO. He attempts to warn a skeptical world, but no one believes him, since the aliens just look like us. An intriguing combination of paranoid science fiction and dramatic thriller, this highly influential series focuses on one man's determined efforts to save the world. Produced by the legendary Quinn Martin, The Fugitive, The Invaders, The Believers box features all 17 17 Season 1 and all 28 Season 2 episodes, as well as a bonus disc that features commentaries, interviews and more. So there you go, I've got commentaries by Larry Cohen and Alan Armour, Beachhead, the extended pilot, interview with Roy Fiennes himself, and 3 promos. So this was a very cool series. PG, guys. Actually, it was quite scary when I was a kid. This was actually quite scary. It had scary music and a scary concept. For when I was a child, it was that was really scary. So another back in the day when I was a boy. Right, so yeah, so that's the Invaders. It's got nothing inside it, guys, other than a load of discs and a rundown of the episodes, and I'm going to go through those anyway. But yeah, it's got all the discs in there. Only ran for 2 seasons, but a lot of episodes, and they ended it okay. Yeah, so it unfortunately its ratings dropped after the 2nd season, and they never renewed it. I don't know why. I thought it was a brilliant series. But yeah, so let's get into it. It had a brilliant cast. Final episode was March 26, 1968. The first episode being 21st of January 67. Wow. So there you go. ABC. Action, science fiction, adventure and drama thriller, which it certainly was. The opening scene of this, guys, was absolutely classic. I wish I could play it on here, but I can't because of all the copyright stuff. But the opening scene, oh my god, it was so great. You know, he's tired, he pulls off the road, he's on the road, because he's an architect who goes from different place to different place doing jobs, like he works for himself. And he pulls up in front of this old deserted diner to try and have a kip that's off the road, and that's when he hears the noise, and he wakes up in the night and he sees it land, and that's when he sees the saucer for the first time, a flying saucer, guys. So how old is that theory that the flying saucers, there were always saucers, weren't they, in the old UFO movies? I absolutely loved it, but you saw a lot of saucers in the Invaders. You really did. And they were classic saucers. They'd have the little windows around it, you know, and a little door that comes down, and yeah, brilliant stuff. But yeah, it was very, very good for its time. And as I say, the opening scene with the music was just absolutely fantastic. So you had the great Roy Fiennes, who played the architect, David Vincent, who's on the front cover there. He spends his whole life now, after seeing this, trying to prove to people that they're here. And he learns very quickly that they've taken human form, and there's no real way to expose them other than killing them. Because when you kill them, they evaporate and they turn red, they glow and they disappear. And that's how everyone comes to know in this series that the Invaders are here, because he manages to convince people all the way through. It's a very frustrating series because he travels from state to state, town to town. You're looking at the news all the time, and he's looking for incidents that sound like it's involving the Invaders. Like if he hears a story of a local man, you know, tells a story of a man disappearing, he'll go to that town and he'll look, and inevitably there'll be something there, like some sort of setup, because each town he goes to and stuff like that, the visitors are setting up like a stronghold of some sort, or some sort of weapon for controlling the people, or some sort of advanced weaponry is being used, or they're trying to infiltrate the army or the police or the local mayor, or, you know, there's always a suspicion of someone when you go into the town, and even they start to know who David Vincent is in the end. So when he goes, they're looking for him, and you can never tell who's who in this. They always used to do some really good twists, so like people you'd think, hold on a minute, what, he was an invader all along. So that was really good. And it's one of those series, guys, it's those old telly series where you didn't need massive amounts of violence to tell the story. If someone did die, you'd just see their leg poking out from under a table or something, and you'd hear dun dun dun, and you'd know they were dead. That was it, because the person would walk over and go, yeah, he's gone. And then you'd hear the ambulance taking him away, sort of thing, and you just did imagination. You didn't need all the blood and the gore. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a hypocrite because I love a lot of horror films and stuff like that today, but this was a different time where violence just wasn't as prevalent, if that makes sense. So yeah, you had some good characters in this. You had a reoccurring character, Alfred Ryder, and he played Nexus. And Nexus was like the he would have been like the leader alien. He was one that always turned up, and he was like the leader of the alien sort of thing. So you always had like some special guest stars like Roddy McDowall. The great Gene Hackman was in an episode of this. You see, what was his name again? The guy from... There's another guy in this, and I'm trying to think of his name. He's always a very good actor. And he was in Death Wish 2 as the mayor. But yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head, but you had some great appearances. You had seasons 1 and 2. 1 was very similar. 1 was just him literally going from town to town, battling it, trying to figure it out. And then 2, I mean, as in the Believers box, he manages to form what's called the Believers Group. And the Believers Group is very cool because it's run by a guy who's no longer with us anymore, Kent Smith. And he plays a character called Edgar Scoville. And Edgar Scoville is like the leader of the Believers Group. And he's rounded up prominent people who know the truth. And they're going where they can try and spread the word. But all the time they're battling people thinking they're going crazy, they're going nuts. And like I say, it's a very, very good series. This is. It's got that very old vibe of diners, dancing, you know, gentlemen being gentlemen, and did some good stuff, you know. Like I say, the episode with Gene Hackman's very good. Spores, I think it's called. The episode's got Gene Hackman in it, and he's carrying these spores, which are like a science experiment in a briefcase. And David Vincent is trying to get that briefcase off him, and it's really cool. So yeah, you got the Beachhead episode, which was the 10th of January 1967. That is the first episode I suggest you watch, because that is the very first episode when you see the scene with the diner. And he goes there, the closed diner, and he beds down for the night, and then he takes the sheriff back there the next day, and there's been all these alterations to it. It doesn't look the way he described it. I don't think it's a diner anymore, it was something else. And then the sheriff is saying to him, well, are you just dreaming? Are you just, you know, but it's not, it's the aliens have covered it all up, they've changed it all, and stuff like that. So you've got some absolutely fantastic episodes in this. And obviously the last 2 episodes were Summit, part 1 and part 2. And the last one was November of 1967. So it was really good series, guys. I love UFOs. I think the UFO stuff is fantastic. So, architect David Vincent accidentally learns of a secret alien invasion already underway, and therefore travels from place to place, attempting to foil the aliens' plot. That is on Wikipedia, and it's very good. Like I say, there were so many characters in this. You can't go wrong. Edgar Scoville, Kent Smith. Like I say, he was the leader, and he managed to convince military people to start getting involved. You know, so it was very good. The emphasis of the series is on Vincent and his efforts. And unlike most science fiction, the backstory of the aliens, their dying planet, and their planet is dying, and they appear human except for some telltale characteristics. Like one of the things they had on it, which was really cool, was they had, for some reason, a deformed 4th finger, and that was how you could kind of tell. It was one of the only telltale signs you had, other than when they die. So you only see their true appearance, I think it's like once in this series. Other than that, they're all disguised as humans. But one thing I will say about this is, like, the old Star Treks, the old Clint Eastwood movies, stuff like that, they just knew how to have a good punch up, didn't they? Semi-unrealistic, but at the same time realistic. but also funny, you know, and that was what used to go on in these. So it was very cool. They had the early sort of 1950s style photos of what people were saying their sightings had looked like, was the saucer ships to look like, which was very cool. They had the sort of laser guns. It was like it used to fire at you like a little red beam, like a laser beam. It looked almost like a Star Trek original phaser. Do you remember those big old phasers they used to have, Captain Kirk and stuff? That was what their kit used to look like. But the music was absolutely brilliant. They had such good music. It was really, really good. And you can't beat it. You can't beat the music of these old science fiction programs, because they were just eerie, weren't they? They just had an eeriness about them that you couldn't put your finger on, but it used to scare you, didn't it? Much like the music of old television series, original Doctor Who music, wasn't it? Stuff like that. It was quite eerie, wasn't it? The original Doctor Who music. The original Doctor Who music, I mean, like John Pertwee and Tom Baker and stuff like that. Before it got all sort of a bit more tech savvy, the music used to all be a bit eerie, didn't it? Like John Carpenter's music is all a bit eerie, isn't it? He knows how to make good music, John Carpenter, doesn't he? Yeah. So this is a Quinn Martin production of The Invaders. Does David Vincent ever expose the aliens really to the world? I will let you purchase this box set and find out. It's well worth it, guys. Honestly, for watching an old series, it's so cool. If you can put up with old television, like, I mean, this is even more sort of older than Knight Rider and A-Team and stuff like that. Very similar sort of setting, you know, harmless fun. But it's based on our true fears, isn't it? That is there something out there? And if there is something out there, is it nice at all? Or is it what this would portray, that they're invaders? Are these people who have said they've been taken from their cars whilst on the highway or sleeping in their beds at night, are they telling the truth? Who knows? Or do we go into like the X-Files, where you've got a secret government organisation that, you know, is really the government within a government and knows all about UFOs and is actually making deals with them as we speak? I'll let you decide. A very good series this is, guys. Honestly, it's such harmless fun. I would suggest getting yourself a copy of this, snagging yourself a copy. It is a piece of history. I wish I could play some of it, but copyright stuff is a pain in the neck, and I don't want to go anywhere near it. So please like the review. Thank you for all the subscribers so far that I've got. To me, I've got a lot. I haven't got a lot of subscribers as in some of the big YouTubers, but I've certainly got enough to say that I think I've got a lot for me, what I thought I would have got. I was expecting 5 or 10, you know. But there you go. So it's nice to have subscribers, and it's nice to make these videos. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Take care now. Bye-bye.